Hi everyone, I am live because I got a question as part of my post, having been a judge for the Miss Universe competition, and I wanted to go ahead and answer that question. I guess we're gonna see who joins in, but I wanted to share some insights about what it takes to score the contestants during the Miss Universe competition. So anyway, I'm gonna wait a little bit. So those of you that are in the world of misses and pageants, feel free to share this around to make sure other people get the information. But yes, as you heard in my last post, the process is incredibly transparent. I was super impressed, having been a judge, again, part of the selection committee, with the fact that we are being guided, through the process with auditors that surround us. At that time, it was auditors from EY, I believe. And the 7 of us judges also never, ever, ever sit down and compare notes and start talking about the contestants. That's not what we do, because we are supposed to each be an independent evaluator of the entire group of 93 contestants. That was how many we had at the time. So how does the scoring work? Let me tell you how it works. It's an accumulation of everyone's performance during each of the events. So the very first time we interact with the contestants is the interviews. The interviews are incredibly important. As I said, we receive a book that has everyone's bios and interests and key questions that they answer about their causes, their studies, you name it. So that way when we ask them questions, they're not just random, they're specific to their backgrounds. And let me tell you, ladies, that interview is critical. That is the first impression, and that is the first time each of the judges get to start scoring and kind of selecting their top 15, their top 20 out of the big group. Also, a big tip for the interviews is please, please, please do not sound like a rehearsed script. We could tell when a contestant was just sounding so perfect that it was way too perfect, way too rehearsed, and that just loses its power and authenticity. So resist the temptation to just kind of recite the perfect words and the perfect answer, because we can tell, and that actually is a bit of a turnoff. Be you, be authentic, be funny if you're funny. I'll never forget in our 2018 pageant, Miss Costa Rica was so funny. I mean, she had these very clever, quick comments that just made us laugh naturally, and she became very memorable to us. Actually, she made it to the top 15 later on in the final gala. But anyhow, so the interview is the first set of scoring that starts shortlisting who makes it to our tops. We never compare with each other. This goes, like I said, back to the auditors every day. And then during the preliminary competition, we have these iPads. They're super easy to use and so cool that every time the contestants are on the stage, we are ranking them. And at the end of each of the events inside the event, so whether it was swimsuit or questions or gown, we get to rank our tops. In literally, you're like grabbing them up and down in a list, kind of like how you do on your iPhone when you like move things around. Anyway, so that each of us judges, 7 of us at that time, make those rankings, and only the auditors know how the cumulative results of the rankings look on their end, because then that's what calls for the finals, that for the gala, because that was preliminary. For the gala, then we have who the top 15 are, and then the short list of top 5 or top 3 actually happens based on their performance that night. So every moment counts, and every time they're on stage, we're ranking. So you have an opportunity to make an impression every time you're on. So ladies, when you're in front of judges, assume that you're being scored, and every interaction accumulates. So please, eye contact when you're on stage. There were times that women were walking in front of us and they will just be looking fabulous but forgot we were there. So when you walk, even if you're looking that way, keep looking at the judges. That makes a difference. And the other thing is, we want you to be likable and lovable. And And a good person, I know that sounds kind of basic to say, we want everyone to be great people, but you can tell if somebody just has attitude versus confidence. We also know if somebody just wants to be sassy at any, expense, or if you really want to be, confident and again, beautiful, owning who you are, not at the expense of stepping over other people. That's not what you do. And by the way, we the judges also don't pay attention to the stuff that is said on social media, the news that week. In fact, we were advised by the organization not to do that because that could taint our views. Depending on what you're reading, there's bias, right? So our only bias was what we saw in front of us. I think I even turned off my comments on social media that week so that I would be focused and not distracted by comments or looking at whatever contestants were being said or told or news, whatever. So anyhow, I don't know if this helps you. Probably it does, but it is an accumulation. So every interaction counts. Be you, be authentic, be lovable, be empathetic. Because like I said earlier, the most beautiful doesn't really win, but it's the most beautiful, confident, and engaging the one that wins. And the interview, it definitely is the one that sets the stage for it all. All right, I'll be putting more things here. Feel free to share this around, and best of luck to the contestants. Have fun, make friends, make new connections because they could last a lifetime. And remember, this is an experience to treasure. So make it what you want it to be. And congrats to Ms. Paula Sugar, who runs a very tight ship, the organization. You make us all proud with the integrity of this entire process. Alrighty, more to come. I'll share more. Bye.